Michael DeSanta, a key character in Grand Theft Auto V, is a retired bank robber attempting to live a quiet life under witness protection in Los Santos. Despite his efforts to leave his criminal past behind, Michael frequently finds himself drawn back into a world of crime, committing numerous illegal acts throughout the game. This video explores the potential legal charges Michael would face if his actions were judged under real-world laws. Armed robbery. Michael DeSanta's criminal career is marked by numerous high-stakes heists, most notably bank robberies. His involvement in these armed robberies, where he uses firearms and other weapons to threaten and intimidate bank staff and civilians, would lead to serious legal consequences. Armed robbery is a grave offense that combines theft with the use of violence, or the threat of violence, making it a particularly severe crime. If charged, Michael would face long-term imprisonment, significant fines, and a permanent criminal record, reflecting the serious nature of his actions and the impact on his victims. These charges highlight the extreme measures Michael takes in his pursuit of wealth and the severe legal repercussions that follow. Kidnapping. Throughout his tumultuous criminal career, Michael DeSanta engages in several instances of kidnapping, using it as a tool for ransom, coercion, or leverage against his rivals. These actions involve the unlawful detention of individuals against their will, often involving threats of violence to achieve his objectives. Kidnapping is a serious crime with severe legal penalties, reflecting its dangerous and traumatic impact on the victims. If charged, Michael would face significant prison time and substantial fines, highlighting the gravity of forcibly detaining individuals and the profound legal repercussions of such acts. This charge underscores the lengths Michael goes to in his criminal endeavors and the serious consequences of violating someone's freedom. First-degree murder. Michael DeSanta's violent past is marred by numerous killings, many of which are premeditated and deliberate. His calculated and intentional acts of murder, often carried out to eliminate threats or achieve personal gains, fall squarely under first-degree murder. This category of murder is characterized by its planned and willful nature, making it one of the most severe crimes. If charged with first-degree murder, Michael would face the harshest legal penalties, including life imprisonment or even the death penalty, depending on the jurisdiction. These charges underscore the seriousness of his actions and the extreme consequences of taking a life with forethought and malice. Assault with a deadly weapon. Throughout his criminal activities, Michael DeSanta frequently employs firearms and other deadly weapons to inflict harm or intimidate others. His aggressive behavior and use of weapons in confrontations would lead to charges of assault with a deadly weapon. This offense is characterized by the intentional use of a weapon capable of causing serious bodily harm or death to threaten or harm another person. If charged, Michael would face severe legal consequences, including substantial fines and lengthy imprisonment. These charges highlight the dangerous nature of his actions and the significant threat he poses to public safety when wielding weapons in the commission of crimes. Drug trafficking. Michael DeSanta's involvement in the drug trade spans various activities, including manufacturing, distributing, and selling narcotics. His participation in drug trafficking would result in serious legal charges with significant penalties. Drug trafficking is a grave offense that undermines public health and safety by contributing to addiction, violence, and crime in communities. If charged, Michael would face extensive prison time, substantial fines, and the forfeiture of assets gained through illicit drug sales. These charges highlight the devastating impact of his involvement in the illegal drug market and the severe legal repercussions he would face for his actions. Money laundering. In his criminal endeavors, Michael DeSanta engages in money laundering to conceal the illicit proceeds from his various illegal activities. Money laundering involves the process of making illegally obtained money appear legitimate by passing it through a complex series of financial transactions. Michael's involvement in money laundering would lead to serious legal charges, including financial fraud and conspiracy. If charged, he would face significant penalties, including substantial fines and lengthy imprisonment. These charges underscore the extent of Michael's criminal enterprise and the lengths he goes to disguise the origins of his ill-gotten gains. Conspiracy. Many of Michael DeSanta's criminal activities are carried out in collaboration with his associates, such as Trevor and Franklin. Their coordinated efforts to plan and execute various crimes, including heists and illicit deals, would lead to charges of conspiracy. Conspiracy involves an agreement between two or more individuals to commit a crime, along with an overt act in furtherance of that agreement. If charged, Michael would face serious legal consequences, including imprisonment and substantial fines. These charges highlight the organized and premeditated nature of his criminal enterprise and the collective responsibility shared among the conspirators. Extortion. Michael DeSanta often resorts to threats and intimidation to coerce others into complying with his demands, engaging in acts of extortion. Extortion involves obtaining money, property, or services from another person through coercion or threats of violence. Michael's use of extortion would lead to serious legal charges, reflecting the severity of his actions. If charged, he would face significant penalties, including imprisonment and substantial fines. These charges underscore the manipulative and predatory nature of his criminal behavior, highlighting the profound impact on his victims and the importance of upholding the rule of law to protect individuals from exploitation and abuse. Arson. Throughout his criminal activities, Michael DeSanta has been known to set fires to destroy property or eliminate rivals. Arson, the intentional act of setting fire to property, would be among the charges brought against him. Arson is a serious offense with severe legal consequences, including substantial fines and lengthy imprisonment. Michael's use of fire as a tool of destruction underscores the dangerous and destructive nature of his criminal behavior. If charged, he would face significant penalties for his actions, reflecting the gravity of deliberately causing property damage and endangering lives through arson. Racketeering. Michael DeSanta's extensive involvement in organized crime activities, from drug trafficking to robbery, constitutes racketeering. Racketeering involves operating an illegal business or scheme, often within a criminal organization, to generate profit through unlawful means. Michael's participation in racketeering would lead to charges under the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act. If charged, he would face serious legal consequences, including lengthy imprisonment and significant fines. These charges underscore the systemic and organized nature of his criminal enterprise and the collective responsibility shared among the members of the criminal organization. Grand theft auto. As a central figure in the criminal underworld, Michael DeSanta frequently engages in the theft of motor vehicles, a crime commonly known as grand theft auto. His involvement in car thefts to facilitate various criminal activities would lead to charges under grand theft auto laws. This offense carries significant legal consequences, including imprisonment and hefty fines. Michael's propensity for stealing cars highlights his disregard for the law and the rights of others. If charged, he would face severe penalties for his involvement in this pervasive form of criminal activity. Breaking and entering. Michael DeSanta often breaks into buildings, homes, and secure facilities to commit theft or other crimes. His actions of unlawfully entering properties without permission or authorization constitute the crime of breaking and entering. This offense carries serious legal repercussions, including imprisonment and fines. Michael's penchant for breaking into establishments underscores his disregard for property rights and the law. If charged, he would face significant penalties for his repeated violations of the sanctity of private property. Fraud. In his criminal endeavors, Michael DeSanta engages in various forms of fraud, including identity theft, credit card fraud, and insurance fraud. These deceptive practices involve misrepresentation or deceit to unlawfully obtain money or property from others. Michael's involvement in fraud would lead to multiple charges under fraud laws, carrying severe legal consequences, such as imprisonment and substantial fines. These charges underscore the deceptive and manipulative nature of his criminal behavior, highlighting the need for justice to protect individuals and institutions from financial harm. If charged, Michael would face significant penalties for his fraudulent activities. Resisting arrest. Michael DeSanta frequently resists law enforcement attempts to apprehend him, often resulting in violent confrontations. His actions of actively avoiding capture by authorities constitute the crime of resisting arrest. This offense carries serious legal consequences, including additional charges and penalties. Michael's resistance to lawful arrest underscores his disregard for authority and the rule of law. If charged, he would face further legal repercussions for obstructing law enforcement efforts and impeding the administration of justice. That's all for today's video. Your support means the world to us. If you enjoyed diving into the legal intricacies of Michael DeSanta's potential charges as much as we did, don't forget to show your appreciation by hitting that like button and subscribing. Thank you for joining us on this thrilling exploration of crime and justice.